this kind of thing is currently breaking and affecting the world, so I thought we should bring it up.
I saw this too, by the way.
So, I have an even further commentary beyond just this, but it says the Baby Yoda toy production could be derailed by coronavirus. This has actually come from CNN Business. If we scroll down here, it says Hasbro, the maker of several Star Wars Baby Yoda toys set to hit stores later this year, confirmed last week that its supply chain is being disrupted by the coronavirus outbreak. That obviously makes sense. Coronavirus disruptions haven't hurt production of Baby Yoda toys yet, but according to industry expert Jim Silver, CEO of Toys, Tots, Pets, and More, a toy industry review website, Silver said he spoke with sources inside the Chinese factories that Hasbro works with. But Silver said the situation could soon change for the worst, but not just for Baby Yoda. If things aren't normal by the time June or July roll around, there will be a shortage on a litany of toys, Silver told CNN Business. Obviously, you can go to CNN Business. You can read further up on this. You can watch a little video package they put together here for this story. I thought it was interesting and worth mentioning on the show, the fascination we have here on the show with Baby Yoda in general. And beyond that, Ed, our previous guest, and I were having a conversation via text talking about how there's some stuff going on with Emerald City Comic Con. The organizers of Emerald City Comic Con did decide actually to issue refunds for people who do not want to go to the convention, who are concerned about what's happening. But beyond that, prior to that, basically all the major companies had pulled out and they were no longer sending any guests or representatives. They had no intention of being there, but the convention organizers were still going to continue to push through. And we were discussing how this coronavirus thing, as it continues to move forward, if with what's happening with the misinformation and everything that's going on with it, unless they somehow can get this thing under control and figure out how to approach it, beyond how it's going to unfortunately probably affect a lot of us with our working lives and personal lives, it's interesting to think about the larger reaching implications of how this could not just affect, is going to affect Emerald City Comic Con at this point, or production of, for example, the Baby Yoda toys or toys in general, such as my beloved Funko Pops, which I was going to talk about briefly tonight as well, but also how it could affect San Diego Comic Con. And depending upon how it affects San Diego Comic Con, how that could affect, for example, ironically enough, channels such as ours, where we're talking about pop culture news and what kind of announcements may just be made online. Maybe there won't be as many professionals there to talk up the movies and the TV shows. It's an interesting thing to consider how far-reaching the implications and impact of the coronavirus is going to have actually on pop culture as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'll tell you this, smart people, successful people, they navigate a crisis and they prosper during a crisis. So here's a pitch to you. Maybe we should have a virtual convention if things get bad, something like that. You know what I mean? That's just right off the top of my head. That what we were talking a little bit about this off mic. And the thing is like for me, because I think a lot of people right now are distracted, and rightfully so, about this issue because, they're concerned, and I get the concerns. But in this virtual space, we can interact with each other without putting ourselves in danger. You know what I mean? Where we're not going to be exposing ourselves to any germs or anything like that. So, if something like that happens, maybe you and I pick up the slack. You know what I mean? And maybe we have guests on, and maybe we talk about this stuff in a virtual format. You've got to adjust to what's going on. You know what I mean? You can't lose your head. You can't just be doom and gloom. People are going to need distraction, especially in a situation like this. People are going to want it. So, and that goes for anybody out there that's creating content or wants to create content. Think about that, because this literally is a safe space when it comes to that. You're not going to get corona from me sitting in my house over the internet, So, think about that. I think that's, even when things are bad, there are opportunities, folks. There really are. So look on the bright side. Try to look on the bright side, because that's the thing, is there's a lot of panic and a lot of paranoia right now. But again, smart people, successful people, not only do they navigate a crisis, they will prosper during a crisis. And you have to really think about that. We have a comment from from Ronnie, and he says, well, I mean, the new Bond movie was pushed back to November due to the coronavirus as well. It's heavily affecting pop culture, and yes, a virtual convention would be great. So we have one endorsement on my virtual convention idea. So, and I did not know about Bond. Thank you, Ronnie, because I did not know Bond was actually delayed or is being delayed as a direct result of this. I hadn't heard that. So that's an interesting bit of news too. And by the way, this is also a very good format for people to exchange information. Just saying, you know what I mean? This is a great way that people get information because, quite frankly, we talk. Dave and I have said that we want to keep politics out of the show, but this is a nonpartisan statement. You can't always trust what your government is saying. So, sometimes the best way to get information is from somebody, boots on the ground. Reach out to somebody that's, closer to where things are happening and ask them what's going on, and this is a format. And with the internet, that's one of the nice things about it. As much disinformation that comes out and as much, paranoia that comes out, you can also get good information. You can also listen to people and talk to people that are there and ask them what's going on,
Very true. Very true.